For the second pose in this series, you'll use a comfortable piece of ground. We're going to lie on our side. You will want either a yoga block or possibly a water bottle or a coffee can or a foam roller. Some of you will want 1 to 2 blankets or towels, and some of you will not use the blankets or towels. This next offering can be really sensation rich. If it's more sensation, then you can breathe softly and comfortably through. I'll ask you to back up and do less. And if it's still more sensation, then you can comfortably breathe through. I'll ask you to actually skip this one. All right, so we're going to lie on our side. And some people, when they lie on their side, the bones and the tissues of the side hip feel really tender. I don't have that experience in my body, but if you do, then you might want to take a bit of blanket or towel and just open it out to provide extra padding for your side hip. And if indeed you are choosing that option, when we come onto our side hip, it would look like that. If no amount of padding can create ease in the side hip, again, you might skip this offering. We're going to drape our armpit over a medium height block. Notice a yoga block has a shortest height, a medium height, and a tallest height. We're going to use the medium height, and I'm going to place it crosswise over my yoga mat or the ground I'm lying on. And then I'm going to lay my armpit over the block and take a moment and support my head, be it with my fist or my open hand. That might lead you to discover that you want to reorient the angle of the block. And if that is too sensation rich, you could add a blanket or a towel on top of it, such that it would look like this. That being said, I don't prefer the blanket or the towel, only because I actually prefer the intensity of the compression massage I get from the edge of the block. Finally, if you are going to work with a water bottle or a metal coffee can or a foam roller, you would just adjust such that you come and lie down like so. You still could put the blanket over it. And now going forward, I am going to talk it through as though you're using the block, but if indeed you are using the water bottle, well, have at it. All right. Your top arm could rest over the side of the waist, over the side of the hip. Your top arm could drop to the ground in front of you, or to the degree that feels available, lying behind your waist. And as with the first exercise over the wall, you might be quite still and just let the weight of your body pour onto the block, or you might rock a little forward and rock a little back. If in rocking forward and back, you find a spot that you want to stay and breathe into or micro rock through, that's a great option. Some end up feeling that it's more appropriate for their body, just feels more right to release the arm and release the head. If that causes you pain in your neck, please support the head and neck. For my body, I enjoy the feeling of rocking back so far that I tip the block with me a little. Whether you're tipping back, rocking in a spot of stillness, inviting soft, smooth, comfortable breath. Another option that you might explore is to bring both hands to the ground in front of your block. You could stack flat hands or stack 2 fists or a single hand and fist. and rest the forehead down on the hands, which will move the compression massage more into the tissues at the front of the chest. Whether you choose to support the head, the side of the head with your hand, support the forehead with hands, release that arm long. Consider staying for a few more breaths if you think that can work for you. The next time you each of inhale and exhale, using your hands, help yourself to come upright. You might roll out the shoulder, you might move your neck and head in any gentle ways that feel right. And then simply switch. You might have a very different experience on the second side. Block in your armpit or coffee can, foam roller, ball. Notice if this side does or doesn't want a blanket or a towel on top of it for extra padding. If this hip does or doesn't want padding underneath it. I don't know if there's a doesn't want it, but anyway, if it wants the padding, please give it padding. Your free arm might take a moment to find its preferred place. And maybe it's even helpful to adjust the placement of the block as you settle in. Begin using this as a forum to soften tight fascia. Bring freedom to tissues that might be restricting the freedom of your breath. Be as still as you wish. Rock as much as you wish. You might close your eyes as you tune into this. And if the breath cannot flow smoothly, please forego it. Breath in and breath out. As with the first side, the hand could stay under the head, or if it feels nice to you to release the head and neck. Some days that feels so sweet to me, and some days I don't prefer it. If you discover that this shoulder, because really we're working with the back of the shoulder at the back of the armpit, on the front of the shoulder at the front of the armpit, armpit, shoulder, chest region. If this side needs different things than the first side, working with that as best you know how. And that might include tipping back so far that that block tips, maybe rocks with you. Knowing that you don't have to wait for me to offer one of these options for you to explore them. And or if it's right for you, tipping forward so far that forehead rests down on stacked hands. The other ways of rocking, holding, breathing. And if you knew we might stay for just a few more breaths, and by we, I mean me and only you if it's right for you. What would you wish to be doing? How would you be in self-care? Maybe one final breath here. That's done lifting up. And again, you might take a moment to roll that shoulder. Head and neck might move softly. And we'll move in the direction of our next pose, which will be, in fact, a seated position.